Welcome back, everybody. JT here in the studio again with you. Studio 10-4 live for the first show of the first week of October 2024. And man, kind of came in with a bang. Unfortunately, not such a good one in some circumstances, depending on who and where you are. And I'm referring to the hurricane that has happened in our country that has devastated some of our friends and countrymen. And we're going to be talking a lot about that today. Eric Hill in the house. I haven't seen Mr. Hill in a while. Good to see you back, Eric. Also, in our world, well, let me get this out first. We got a special guest coming in just a bit that I didn't know was going to show up, and that's our very own Dan, 10-4 Dan Linz, Dan the Man, of course, co-founder, creator of 10-4 magazine, and waiting also in the green room with him, virtually, of course, is Evan Steger, and Evan is hanging out, waiting to come in, and Evan's going to give us an update and show report from this past weekend at Mayberry and what that was like. From all signs, it looked good. We had two great shows this weekend then, because I know that the Souza Memorial turned out really, really good as well. And we'll get some feedback maybe from Dan on that since he was there as well. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Hey, Kendall, what's going on? Kendall Dickerson in the house. Good to have Kendall back all the time. Tim, what's happening, buddy? Shan in there. Elton Week, what's going on? Elton Weck. Is it Weck or Week, man? I don't know. But Elton, good to have you, man. Good to have you on the show. Charles, what's going on, dude? I was just checking out the old story we had on your truck earlier today. So vibrations, particles must have been in the air. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, a lot's been going on in the last week or so, and some of it good, some of it not good, some of it really bad. But at this point in life, and when I say life, I'm referring to those that are traveling around in my era. We keep losing people, man. And, some people don't have the connection to some of the entertainers out there and celebrities that I feel. Not everybody does. I was a product of the 60s, and the television was a great babysitter. So for me, it was, sit in front of the TV and be entertained. I was an only child, and it was easy for my folks to do that and not have to worry much about me. And man, when we got cable, holy hell, it was like a whole world opened up, and all this stuff came in through that box. But before that was the radio, and I listened to it all the time. As a little kid, before there was, TV worth watching, we had our AM radios, and we listened and got our entertainment, and much of it for me was music that my dad listened to, as well as, of course, finding my own thing and what I wanted to listen to. And some of you that are on the show that visit weekly are people that I've known all my life, and we grew up in Monterey Peninsula, Monterey Bay, and the radio station there was KMBY. KMBY, still around to this day, as a matter of fact. And it was the station that everything that was new, exciting, and cool, rock and roll, music-wise, and not only rock and roll. I mean, this was back then. They did everything. R&B, rock and roll, pop, everything that was out there that they could draw a listening audience from played on that station. And when I'll never forget one of the song releases, like MTV ended up doing, they'd have a song release, the newest song, a newest video, top of the hour. We'll see them thing. KMBY did that. And one time it was the Beatles come together, brand new song, I mean, yeah, I'm dating myself big time. I get that, but that's okay. I'm not that old. I'm just old enough to know better and young enough to do it again. And I'll continue with that. But recently recently we've lost quite a few. And one of the guys that left us just recently was Chris Christopherson. I don't know how many of you know how ingrained this guy was in the genre of country music and being a country music star, troubadour, songwriter, actor. This guy was all over the place. And I love this about him, that he was through, in high school you had cliques, right? Well, I was one of those guys that traveled through the cliques. Chris Christopherson traveled through the cliques of the industry and seemingly connected with so many on so many different levels. And through the years, this guy was a Rhodes Scholar. This guy served in our armed forces, Air Force. I guess his dad was a general. The timeline that I'm showing you guys right now is from his website. And the thing that I also made the connection to Chris Christopherson with was I was already a fan of Johnny Cash. And every time Johnny Cash would come on the TV, my dad would say, "Hey, your buddy's on." And sure enough, it would be Cash, and he'd be on Sullivan or Andy Williams or Sonny and Cher, whatever, And he had his own show too. So there's a lot, there's a lot going on there. Hey, I got a lot more guys and gals joining us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Eddie, hey, Dougie, what's up? Speegs, what's happening, man? Alyssa, good to have you on. John, excuse me, John Fearborn, good to have you. Cody Davis, what is happening, Cody? Good to have you, buddy. Clear that out. Back to it though. Johnny Cash is another one, and in this group of these guys of Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, the list goes on. The only guy left is Willie Nelson. So, Willie's not a young kid no more either. Willie's 93 now, I think. And so I just think it's awesome that we were lucky enough to be around during this guy's time, as well as many, many others. So many others. Don't think there'll ever be, these kinds of people again. I just think I know I'm going to miss these guys. I'm going to miss what they brought to the table. Yes, they were entertainers, but you know what? They were people just like you and me. They just happened to, entertain us. Chris Christopherson made his connection, of course, with Convoy to the trucking world. I mean, the 70s were, an era of really weird entertainment as well as some great stuff, but there was some real weird stuff out there. And when I mean weird, I mean, like, just kind of offbeat, strange, corny, funny, whatever. And, was Convoy that big of a deal for you? Was it like you lived and breathed Convoy and Rubber Duck and all the guys that were characters in that movie? It sure has made its way into kind of a counterculture, thing. And I think it'll be there and live on forever. And in that way, so will Chris Christopherson and all the other celebrities we've lost along the way. So, and listen, not to forget, but there's a lot of folks that have lost their lives due to this storm that's come through and the hurricane. And, they're just as real as anybody else that I've mentioned here, and more so because, they're just the regular folks out there, but there's been a lot of that. And we're going to cover that today in the show as well. First, I want to bring Dan in because Dan's going to give us the latest update on what's going on with the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show. Look at you wearing your Dickerson shirt.
Good afternoon.
What's going on? Good afternoon.
Just sitting here doing rodeo stuff all day long.
All day. So all day and all night. I mean, you don't sleep anymore, right?
I do not, sir.
Yeah, right. I kind of figured that. So it's day and night. Shan's got you hooked up. What is there, like an IV around there somewhere, or she just throws nuggets at you for protein and keep you alive?
It's not that bad yet. It's not that bad yet.
No, hey, Kimball, look at that. You got your shirt on there, girl. Yeah, Kimball said nice shirt.
I like to represent.
Tell us what's going on, man. I hear you got some great news.
So we do. I mean, we're, things are really going fast with this thing. And obviously we're 29 days out. We're a month out. And so things are going, happening really quickly. But I mean, we've been signing up vendors left and right. We've been signing up sponsors. People are registering. Things are happening. Things are getting ordered. Things are getting done. So a lot has happened in a very short amount of time. But, we had a good time at the Souza show last weekend in Turlock. And telling you, this rodeo seems to be the buzz. Maybe because we were talking a lot about it, but it seemed like everybody was. So I think it's pretty exciting. Everyone seems to be pretty excited about what's going on and what we're doing out there. So, but one thing we just kind of secured here within about an hour of us going on is we want to encourage. So, at Trucking for Kids, when you register early, you get a bonus bucket, which is a pretty valuable thing. So that does encourage people to sign up early. And with this, people are not signing up quite as fast as we would like or as early as we would like. So we thought, well, maybe we need to add a little bit of motivation. So what we came up with is we're going to have a raffle. Everybody who registers early, registers by Monday, October 28th, that day or before, they're going to get a raffle ticket in their packet. And if they sign up for any competitions like backing or hay squeeze or whatever, any extra thing that they sign up for, they get another ticket. So, there's not going to be a ton of tickets out there because a lot of people are only going to have one. Some people will have two, maybe three if they sign up for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, depending on what they feel like signing up for. Yeah.
Right. So right now, as of just literally within the hour, we've secured. We were just going to do one raffle and one winner, but we've gotten a few extra items. So we might pull 2 or 3 tickets, depending on where we land with our items. We currently have some stainless steel wiper arms and chrome blades from GGE Products. We have 2 pairs of billet tanker lights from our friends at Brent's Custom Trucks. One of them is tanker lights and one of them are just bullet watermelon style lights. We're going to throw in, we have a $100 gift card from 4 State Trucks. Everyone that does win will also get one of our official rodeo t-shirts. And we don't know what else. We're still securing a few more items. And if those items become available as well, we'll pull a few more cards, or tickets. So hopefully that'll get people a little bit motivated to jump on the computer, truckerrodeo.com. or go through 10-4 magazine. Either way, take you to the same page and click on that, get signed up and get her done.
So I've been trying to encourage people because this facility, we can do this. We are encouraging people to get their RVs down there and make this a weekend deal. I mean, $100 for the weekend, dry camp RV, you can't find that anywhere. And let alone at a show here where there's going to be cool trucks and competition going on of all different kinds and sorts, from burnout and stereo competitions to hay bucking and squeeze competitions and transfer dump backing competitions. What, three different backing competitions? I mean,
yes, sir.
The list goes on. So there's something, I think, for everybody.
We have a total of 12 competitive classes. Most, a lot of what you said there. And I think that those are all going to be a lot of fun. Most of about 2/3 of those events will be on Saturday, and then Sunday will be the cow loading and the hay, the hay squeeze and the hay boom. That'll be on Sunday. And
I heard there was cows on the loose in Turlock this weekend.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Is there a cow in your office? Oh my gosh!
Hi, Betsy. You ready for the rodeo? Yeah.
Does Betsy have
Betsy too? So Betsy keep an eye on social media. Marty Miles, he's training for this, and he's got Betsy 1, the original, and he's just out there crossing the country with his cow trailer, training and getting ready. So watch for his fun videos and his encouragement, and like he says, start training for second place because he's winning this thing. By the way, my cats loved this.
I would imagine they probably do. So get us a picture that we can share with the cat, riding the Betsy too, huh?
I don't know if we'll get that one. They'll probably pop it if that's the case.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It'll be a quick picture. You got to be there right away to snap that one before Betsy too leaves the the show.
I will say, Betsy, we brought 3 Betsy's with us to Turlock at Souza, and they were very popular. Everybody wanted to take their picture with the Betsy's. They trended on Instagram, or at least I said they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. But
Dan said they trended. They must have.
Everybody was having a good time with the cows, and people would ask, "What are you doing with those?" And we would tell them, and they thought that was so. For those who don't know, these are what we're loading in the cow loading competition. So,
are you going to fill them with sand or just air?
They're just filled with air.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So give us a quick rundown on the Souza Memorial, the 4th annual Souza Memorial. How'd that go this weekend?
It was good. It was a little warm. Those guys can't catch a break with the weather, but at least it wasn't triple digits like in the past, or raining like last year. So it was about mid-90, but it was a little warm, but not too bad. Good turnout, great turnout. Seemed like it was a lot more trucks than last year. More vendors probably. Went over and they had the truck pulls on Saturday night, truck and tractor pulls, no big rigs, just pickups and tractors. But they did that a little bit earlier. I think last year it was like 6 to 9, which kind of interfered with the light show. This year they did it like 4 to 7, and then the light show started. So over in our 10-4 booth area space, that was probably the best time we had, was the evening on Saturday after the truck pulls ended. So it was good. Gotcha. It was nice. We had a fun time and saw a lot of our friends there, and drove around the golf cart and showed all the Betsy's the show. They enjoyed it as well. They liked it. Yep.
Good. Yep. All right.
They were a little nervous. They were a little nervous around the livestock truck. So I don't know. They must have smelled something. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The odor of vinyl.
It's been a busy week. I mean, we debuted our new shirt out there, and that was well received. And
you got one with you right now?
Huh?
You got one with you right now in the office?
I do. Where's the one I was wearing?
I just put you on the spot, didn't I?
Go grab the one I was wearing. I was wearing one on Sunday, and I did bring it home. Otherwise, I'd say no. We had a new magazine come out here.
Yep.
It's supposed to be Tuesday, but it came out Monday.
So and the website's already updated too.
Website's up, and it's updated and corrected and good to go. Yeah. So yesterday was a busy day. Lots happening, and of course,
it is right there.
There it is, right?
Yep. Very good, man. That's
so go over to the Trucker Rodeo page. So you can show people there where it is up in the corner. Yep.
Right to it. Come down here to the green bar, hit the green bar, and
scroll down to that. Scroll down to there. That's where you would sign up, and
get back here. There's all the different events, general truck show registrations, support vehicles, everything's there. So whatever you're going to be doing, whatever you need to get done to get in and be there for the weekend, it's all here. All the way down to the RV weekend pass. I mean, for 3 nights, man, $100.
Right.
And it is dry camping, but again, so what? You big strappers out there with the big monster cool RVs, you got more than enough capacity to handle a weekend out there. Without being connected to anything between solar and generators and everything else. So we'd love to see you guys out there. Get over to, like Dan said, you can go over to our website, 10-4magazine.com, or what's the URL for the truck show itself? Is it 10-4truckerrodeo.com?
Just truckerrodeo.com.
Truckerrodeo.com, whatever.
The same page. So go back to the page before that. I was going to show them one thing here. So no, I wanted to show them the latest
the landing page. Yes, sir.
Yep. So scroll there. So I just wanted to recognize some of our sponsors here on this flyer. This is our latest flyer, and so wanted to give some kudos to some of our sponsors that have signed up to sponsor different events and different things. We got our friends at Magini & Son and Central Valley Transport, Double E Trucking, Time to Shine. Our buddy Evan, who's going to be on today, he sponsored our mechanical bull. It's going to be over in the kids zone, but adults can go in there too. 10 West Towing, KT Charbonneau Trucking, Batello Custom Trucks sponsored our custom belt buckles that we're getting for all the winners of the competitions. Very classy, very nice, very cool. Full-on rodeo style, silver and brass and turquoise, and their class will be on there. It'll say champion. It's going to be a pretty cool deal. So
I hope everybody takes it to heart too, that this is, it's a trucker rodeo, but listen, let's go full on, man. Get your hats out, get your boots, get your Wranglers, tighten them up, and let's go rodeo,
So yeah, so I want to bring to thank a few other people that aren't on that flyer because they didn't sign up in time. Kane Trucking, Van Dyke Trucking, Chris Trucking. They're sponsoring our window cards. Jake Bast is going to sponsor our Kids Zone. We've secured quite a bit. We've probably secured about 15 vendors in the past 5 days. And we probably have room for about another 10 more at the most. So if somebody wants to be a vendor, get on that sooner than later and get in touch with somebody and get signed up and
get on there and get a hold of us to set up a vendor booth, as well as the remaining event sponsorship opportunities that are out there, which are pretty damn classy. So you don't just throw your payment in there and get nothing back. You're going to get all of the marketing and promotional within the event all weekend long, plus whatever we can put out in print as well as digital entirely now before the event, during the event, and after the event. There'll be Studio 10-4 promotions that go on along with that, as well as a luxury suite per sponsor per event. So
and 10
you guys
entries.
You guys get a hold of us and we'll take care of you, get that done. Hey, I want to bring Evan in, so I'm going to do a little overlap with you guys because I want to make sure we get him in before the bottom of the hour. He's already listened to us go on and on and on and on. Evan, what's happening, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, nice jacket.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, let's get the overlay out of the way here, and that way we can see everybody nicely. It would help if I brought him back in. There we go.
I got a shirt, by the way, too.
Oh, let's see that.
Yeah.
That thing turned out so good.
There it is.
Right.
There it is. That is the 2025 second edition of the Legendary Series with Ron Kelsey on there. So
there you go.
I dig it.
Congratulations, Ronnie. That's quite an honor. Second in the line of many more to come. So Evan and I were having a great conversation before the show, but let's talk a little bit about this last weekend. Man, you were in the midst of it all. I mean, raindrops and wax and polish and sweat, and I hope some beer and fun along the way too, man. That was a busy weekend and another nature challenged weekend show.
Yeah, so this year was the 4th year of Mayberry, and out of the 4 years, we've had 2 hurricanes hit, and the first one hit us direct. 2 years ago, it hit us directly right over the top of us, and this year we got indirectly hit. The storm ended up traveling a little further west, and it came through like a hurricane, and it left just as fast as it came in. Earlier in the week, I had been telling everybody, just pray that it keeps tracking west. Just pray that it keeps tracking west. And it did. It blew west. So we had rain leading up to it. And then Friday morning, I was watching the weather at the cabins that we stay at. And I kept telling Levi, I'm like, listen, wear your rain boots, wear your rain jacket. The morning's going to be miserable. But by the time we hit lunch, it's going to start clearing out. And probably about 1, 2 o'clock, we were going to dry out, which meant we could still have our auction. We could still have the convoy Friday night. And everything would be just fine. Saturday was going to be dry. And it did exactly that. Levi and I were standing out in the 60-mile-an-hour winds and the straight line winds with the rain. And there was trees blowing down all over around us. But we were still parking trucks in the rain. And even with my full rain jacket on, the rain was coming across so straight that it was running into my rain jacket and running straight in my boots. I had knee-high boots on, if you saw the video. they were full halfway up with water when I finally took them off. And there's pictures of me walking around in the parking lot with no boots, no socks, nothing on. Because at one point I'm like, it doesn't pay to have anything on my feet. I may as well just walk around without them for a while.
You may as well have been in Birkenstocks, man. It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, right at that point.
Yeah, I needed to figure out a way to walk on water because it was
Gators.
it was heavy. We still ended up having 292 trucks. A great event. Everybody had a great time. The convoy went off without a hitch. I believe we may or may not have sent out more than I was supposed to for the convoy, but they said the city streets were lined for it. That there was about 8,000 to 10,000 people downtown on the city streets to watch the convoy come through, and everybody got out, everybody got back in, and it was a party. Everybody had a great time. The bands Saturday night were absolutely amazing. Hey, Kendall, how you doing? You doing all right? Shannon too. Hey, Shannon.
Yep, Shannon in there. Yep, absolutely. Well, listen, social media again has brought that show from where it was held in North Carolina over to us and everybody else in the world. But I mean, I saw so many posts and reels and just stuff that was going on, and you're in the midst of it. I mean, it seemed like that if you weren't hanging out with Evan, you weren't at Mayberry. So it would just be weird to not see you in one of those pictures or something. But you were all over the place.
It's been a different transition for me. A few years back, we noticed that the polishing at the shows was becoming less and less, and it wasn't because there wasn't polishers there. It was more of we noticed, I don't want to call them budget cuts, but we noticed the industry shifted a little bit. Guys would get polished early in the season, and then they'd get polished again in the middle of the season, but they weren't really doing anything towards the end of the season. And I was still trying to find ways for our company to be relevant at the shows, still be able to go to the shows and be able to afford to have booths at the shows. And a few of the shows approached us about possibly running their events. And as you guys know, I love being at the shows. I've met so many great people over the years that I've had a lot of fun, and not getting to see those people throughout the summer because I couldn't justify taking our booth to a show that's, let's say, 18, 16 hours away and still trying to make money that we can keep our business afloat. I decided I would start running some of these shows and helping some of these locations out. And I instantly fell in love with it. I've been having just as much fun running the shows and running the events as I ever did polishing, and as much as I ever did just attending. And Mayberry is one of those that I've been the president of the board since they created the board. I've run it since the first year. We've got a great team of people over there that all have a part in that. Myself, when I'm at the shows, you guys have seen me, I'm always running crazy. I'm all over the place.
Well, it's funny is we don't see you a lot because you're
running
you're
crazy.
kind of a vapor trail, man.
Right. So I decided I was going to start hiring in a social media person to help me. Her name's Lauren Parton. She follows me around at the show. She's the younger lady that's with me all the time. She's really great at what she does. And I hired her in because I noticed I do better with the YouTube crowd, the guys that are going to learn something or want an informational video. I can tap into the 31 to 70-year-old market very easily, but I struggled with the 16 to 30-year-old market. Like I couldn't figure out what videos they want to see that gets them engaging and stuff. And I had hired her in to essentially follow me around at the shows and get me media, because when I'm parking trucks and when I'm dealing with food vendors and regular vendors, I don't have time to get my own media. So having her there, she catches so much stuff that I didn't even realize she was filming. And when you're having a conversation with somebody and you got a camera in their face, a lot of times people are like, I don't know what to say. But when she's just standing in the background and I'm having an organic conversation with somebody and she's catching all that, we've really been getting a lot of good footage out of that. So I've been taking her to as many shows as I can. This year she ran for Miss Ohio, so we lost her for a couple of shows because she was competing for the Miss Ohio spot. But
Damn.
look forward
What
to
do you got going on,
seeing.
dude?
I know
That's
she's a good one. We picked her up like an extra kid. She's been a great addition to our team for sure.
Can she
And a
two-time in babes too?
Yeah, so actually she does shoot some photos for the babe side too. It works out really well. Yeah.
Look, I'm being served a cold drink.
Oh, look
That's
at that.
We got this year's
Look
babes
at that.
calendar out already. She's one of the featured people in there.
I want to touch on the babes and big rigs for a second too, and then we can bring it back. But those of you that don't know, I mean, the babes and big rig, that's basically a charitable deal that you do every year that donates all the money back to support our service guys, right? I mean, that's the function.
And even better, I got some rather funny news to add to that. We've expanded Babes and Big Rigs this year to include what we are calling Truckendales.
Oh no!
Every time
shows?
yes. So I've been
I'm out of here.
So every time I'm shooting photos with the ladies, some guy will walk up to the truck and like, I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
So as they're doing that, I'm clicking as many as I can get. And I've compiled a full year's calendar of truckers doing funny things. So I've got some famous names as much as Jacob Bonham, Gary Jones, Chad Berry, Jason
The temperance committee is not going to be happy about all this, man.
I'll tell you what, the people that have seen the calendar, they all want to know how they can buy 50 of them. So
okay, well,
I bought 500 this year. We'll see how well they do. But 100% of all the money we raise from Babes and Big Rigs and Truckendales, whether it's the calendars, the shirts, the posters that we sell at the shows with the girls being there signing autographs and stuff, every bit of it goes 100% to local wounded veterans in our area. And we have got our county completely caught up. We're now also helping the 6 surrounding counties around us.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. And
thank you.
I don't know how to say congratulations to the, to those that receive what your work gives them. But, there's just not, I don't know, as much as there is going on to help these guys, it seems like there's still voids out there but it's getting better. So I leave it like that. Hey, I want to go back to the truck show thing. So in our pre-production meeting, you and I were basically shooting the, what, and you're telling me about all this.
You guys pre-produce?
Just back off there. Back off. Yeah. And here you're telling me about the show, and I'm saying, man, I said, maybe you ought to, put together Evan's production company and start doing some shows of your own. And
I may or may not have smirked.
May or may not have. There may have been a reaction there. Yeah, it may have been. But God, one thing led to another, and we went down this road with. Do you want to share? You want to start it out and let it out?
I can. Yeah. That. So, as most of you have seen, you're going to start seeing a lot more advertisement for the November 1st, November 2nd Bennett show at Atlanta Motor Speedway for Wreaths Across America.
Don't go there though. Go to our show, by the way. But
I know you guys sent me the invite after we already had it set. I'm like, I know. Oh no!
Luck of the draw, Evan. Luck of the draw, man. It is what it is.
Show I can't go to with 10-4. You guys are killing me with this. You guys got me with Tony's show. You got me with the Atlanta Motor Speedway show. I'm dying to get out by you guys. I'm just gonna have to make a trip and hang out.
We pushed TFK a week, so now we're May 3rd and 4th. So maybe you can.
I'm hoping it's different than Tony's show this year. I gotta ask him what the dates were for sure, but I think it may be different this year. So I'm hoping to be able to make it out.
And there's a Studio 10-4 news alert coming with that for you, Dan, as well. So keep on talking, Evan. What do we got?
So we decided after this entire year, I've been talking to a lot of the big players, a lot of the big guys. You guys know I'm tuned into a lot of the who's who in the industry. And at a few of the shows this year, we all got to talking, and a lot of guys have been telling me, man, I just miss Dallas. We miss the national championship show. We miss everybody hanging out at the hotel and, the fun of it all, right? And we got to talking about this Atlanta show, and we decided we were going to add a national championship style event. We redesigned the judging, we redesigned the rule book, and we hand selected 12 people to come and compete this year. And there will also be a wash and park. There's also a Jeep event and a bike event at the same place, so it draws in a crowd. So there'll probably be, I think we're going to be 150 to 200 wash and park trucks, but there's going to be a red carpet area of this event where 12 people are going to get judged by 4 of their peers and 1 celebrity. In addition to that, I think the parade of lights, the convoy, is going to get to go around the track, but everybody's going to get to take a lap around the track. The winners of the national championship are going to get to do multiple laps, and they're going to get to do a checkered flag style photo for their championship. And next year, there is going to be 3 qualifying locations. They're going to be attached to other events, and they're going to qualify for the national championship. And I myself am going to hand out 2 wild card spots to an event to get people to come down to Atlanta next year. And Bennett is going to hand out 2 wild card slots for people to invite for next year. And my personal choice would be to give you guys at TFK my 2 wild card slots. So that would allow the 10-4 team, as in all of you collectively, to find 2 people that you think would like to be a part of a fully judged event and would be willing to travel to Atlanta for the national championship show next year. They don't have to be judged at your show. They are a wild card. They are the 10-4 choice wild card. And that's something I'd like to pass to you guys if you're interested in it.
100%. Of course.
There it is.
I just thought it'd be great to involve you guys in. You guys have always involved me in a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of respect for you guys, as you know. And I think it'd be a great way to get an extra draw out of your show that's already killing it and already doing well. And it also brings some of that Cali love to the Atlanta show. I always felt like, and John and I had talked about it, Cali doesn't always get representation. You know, they don't often get asked to come out to events like this. And every time I come out to California, you guys know I love a lot of the trucks out there. I love a lot of the people. I've actually even invited one of our good friends from California to come and judge this year, and he accepted the invite. Dane Nelson is one of our judges this year. So nice. He is going to come all the way out to Atlanta to test out my judging system. I hope it all works. I have a very good feeling. I've talked to a lot of competitors and asked them to critique my system and kind of fine tune it to the best we can. We took a lot of the things people said they didn't like and a lot of the things they did like, and kind of mashed them all together. So I'm excited you guys are willing to do that, because I think
100%. Absolutely. We'll
awesome
talk details. We'll talk details off air.
It'd be awesome to have you guys represented.
As Evan was unveiling all this in our conversation, it was in a different way that I was able to kind of, I sort of saw what was coming, and he just confirmed it as we went each way, step of the way. And I'm thinking this is going to be awesome, because I wanted to see, and what I told him is I want to see a national, championship show circuit thing back in play. I think that's what's kind of missing right now.
Right.
And
a lot of us miss the Stars and Stripes. A lot of us miss Pride and Polish. A lot of us, a lot of guys that did the ATSC, or a lot of guys that, what was the other circuit? There was one other circuit out there. NAST.
Yeah, NAST.
A lot of guys want to see something like that brought into play. And it's one of those things that we're not opposed to using other events as well, such as Louisville, where we wouldn't have to judge anything. They could, whoever takes first place in those classes there, we could pass some invites along there, or Walcott, some of the guys that show up there, if they're placing first place in their class, we could throw some invites there. And I'll get the rules and the judging sheets out to you guys. I think you'll actually be pretty impressed. We really spent a lot of time trying to fine tune this thing. The Bennett Show for Wreaths Across America, what they're doing down there is a really cool event, and they're willing to throw some money behind this. But they place wreaths on all the national cemeteries on a few locations, and they are completely covering national cemeteries with some wreaths for the veterans. So you guys already know veterans got a soft spot for me. I've got a soft spot for veterans with my charities. So when they had asked me to be a part of this, it was a no-brainer. And when I pitched the national championship idea to them, they were already sponsoring. I think they sponsored like 10 or 15 events across the country this year, with big donations to help get whether it was Tony Justice performing or them having booths. And when I pitched it to them, they were like, "This is a great idea. It's a great idea to bring more people to the show and some higher profile people to compete. And the judging will be done before the show even starts. So a lot of the people just get to enjoy the show and have fun. And being downtown Atlanta, you're going to get a crowd of people to this location, which they did last year already.
Well, could be interesting in Atlanta.
What I like about it is that, all of us having truck shows for the most part are friends. We all know each other. We talk for the most part. And this is, something like this is a good way for us to, work together and for all of our shows to feed off of each other, So I like it.
And it gives us that one spot back again that I don't know about you guys. I miss Dallas a lot. I always look forward to it. I liked the competition of it all, and I liked how difficult it was to win. But at the same time, when we all sat, I don't even remember what the name of the hotel was. It's been so long anymore. But when we all sat in the hotel and we all just grabbed food and grabbed drinks and just all sat and chit-chatted, oh man, I had so much fun. I
think it was the Hilton, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't the Hilton. It was
Bonaventure?
Omni or something.
Omni?
Either the Omni or the Hyatt Regency.
No,
Hyatt.
it was the Omni. It wasn't a Hyatt. That I remember. So it must have been the Omni. I remember many conversations, even sitting there with Big E, having dinner and drinking that darn tequila. Oh,
yeah, buddy.
Oh, brutal.
That's your own fault. That's your own.
I know. Listen, peer pressure was the worst back then. It was
the last one. The last Dallas show. Well, the last Dallas show was 2019, right after Eric had passed, and that was it for that show. But before that, we all got together and cabbed it over to a local bar for the fight for the Mayweather. Yep. And what a freaking circus that was, man. There was
McGregor, right?
McGregor McGregor and yeah. Anyway, what a fun time. We had a blast. I mean, it was not like anything I'd ever seen.
By the way, Evan,
I still have the picture that Big E took with me hanging on my wall.
Betsy says, "Drink more milk."
I'll get on it.
Hey, listen, guys, I got Mickey Gwillim in the green room. He's ready to go. I want to bring him in. I'd like to have him come in right now, and you guys can say howdy. And Dan, if you got to go or you want to hang, whatever you want to do, don't take off because we got plenty of room. But Mickey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Good evening, Mickey.
All good here, man. Good. Glad you could make it. I want to thank Mickey for taking the time to be with us tonight. He already had a meeting planned and scheduled, and after we spoke today, he made room to get in here and tell us a little bit about what's going on, where he's at, and what he's doing. So I'll leave it to you, man. You're helping out in a big way with some damage down there in North Carolina, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that you never look forward to this kind of stuff, but it's this one kind of hit close to home. It's I've did 15, 16 of these to where we collect the stuff and take it and deliver it ourselves. And this one, my sister had bought a house in Chimney Rock years back, and a couple months after she bought it, she found out she had cancer, and then she had passed, and her husband and kids kept the house, and they've always had it, and it's kind of a place, from memory. Well, this storm wiped it out. I mean, it and it's hard to imagine, you know, in the situation with what these people are dealing with, because this place is on top of the mountain. And how do you flood the top of a mountain? I don't know, but it happened. And
I'm
they,
gonna throw this picture up that you've got on your Facebook profile, and there it is. I mean, before and after, it's there's
it's
no guessing what went on there, man.
no, it's just devastating, you know. And the thing of it is any of these events that you try and help with, you know, there's other people out there. I saw, you know, and hats off to all of them. You know, Bill Warner out of Circleville is collecting Will Smith, Aaron Nelson, a lot of guys. You know, they're doing the same thing. You know, and it's and nobody's doing it to get a pat on the back. They're putting it out there because that's the only way to get people to come and donate. And but the big thing of it is. What struck me with this was I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I knew I was going to go out there and work for a couple weeks just to pay homage to my sister. But the big thing of it is that a guy that lived here 45 years ago lives out there, and he reached out through people and got to me, and he's like, "Man, we need help." And so I wound up talking to them. Well, the gentleman that owns the amusement parks and the restaurants and bars and stuff in this Emerald Isle, North Carolina, he has set it up, and he's already delivered several loads, and they did 2 or 3 today. People got stuck. They had to go get them pulled out, but he has set it up to where if I deliver out to him, he will then palletize the material on there and make it to where cleaning supplies, non-perishable food, drinks, safety supplies, flashlights, everything, it'll be palletized, wrapped, have a hook on it. They will then fly it out and take it to the areas that can't get supplies, because whether you've seen the roads or not, you know, 30 miles around Chimney Rock, there's not a road good, and there's no way to get in and out. And I mean, my brother-in-law right now is up there, and they live in a location, like 10 miles away from Chimney Rock, and there is now people starting to loot. And because they know there's no way to get in or out, and it's happening already. So it's
Good way to
crazy.
get shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the crazy part of it is my God, man, the devastation out there, and with what everybody's trying to do is just help. But it's you know, when people want to know, I've had 100 people today message me, you know, can I send you clothes? No. Every time I've done these, you know, people, and I get it, I appreciate the fact that they want to help, but it's like when you bring used clothes, it's one thing if they're for kids and little children, but it's like, you know, nobody wants used underwear. Nobody wants used socks, you know, and I mean, it's kind of one of them things that bottle of water and a package of crackers goes a long way for these kind of people. And the simple things, you know, go to the dollar store and buy the $1.40, you know, little solar light panel you can stick in your yard.
Yep.
You know, go buy them. People can carry them around with them, you know, at night. They can let them charge during the day and carry that around. At least they got a light, you know, they don't have to have electricity. Heavy
This
duty
list
trucks.
that I keep throwing up here, I want everybody to take a look at that. It's posted over on Mickey's profile on Facebook, but you know, it's pretty obvious. I mean, I just want to run it down real quick. These are items that every day, you know, we kind of take for granted, but man, they need it right now. Water, batteries, flashlights, baby diapers, baby formula, baby food, canned foods, baby wipes, adult diapers, gloves, buckets, shovels, mops, brooms, first aid kits, plastic utensils, hand sanitizer, paper products, peanut butter jelly, simple, easy, feminine hygiene products, non-perishable snacks, and pet foods. And if there's any way to get that stuff out there, you guys have the way to do it. Now's the time to get it done. Is there any kind of a GoFundMe, or, I mean, I know American Red Cross is probably doing their thing, but I don't even like to direct people there as much as I do to whatever's more localized and centralized. Mickey, what else you got going on, and how long is it going to go on for?
The thing of it is I've talked with a couple, Natasha and Marianne, out at this Emerald Isle, and I believe I'll find out and post it tomorrow. They have got a Venmo that they will then go out and buy stuff. That way it alleviates me from having to deal with it. I mean, it's not that I don't want to help, but in that situation, I've already had people sending me money tonight. I'll go buy supplies, and And what I'll do is I'll go into the dollar store, buy an $11 tote, go down to the dollar aisle of crackers and cookies, swipe it into the box, and fill it full of $100 worth of cookies and crackers. And it's like that way the tote is used for later, because I mean, they don't even have a dresser to put stuff in. They don't have a kitchen cabinet. They don't have luggage. That's the basic thing that people don't realize in this situation. You want to give them pots and pans. They don't have a house. They don't have a stove.
Right.
They don't need that. They need batteries, flashlights. They need aspirin. It's the simplistic things that, like you said, you take for granted. I've always found that every time I go there, people go crazy. When you open up a thing and it's got little first aid kits in it, and it's Pop-Tarts and bite-sized Pop-Tarts, and the little things of water. Powdered milk is a big thing. If you can find powdered milk, and it's like baby stuff. But don't forget the dogs. I mean, there's a lot of dogs out there that aren't going to have anything, and it's kind of crazy that we do take for granted what we have, and in this situation, you're like, man, I got way more than I need. And
I'm just guessing, but given the condition of the ground and trying to get around, are people out on horseback and getting around on ATVs and that kind of stuff?
They are, actually. I read a thing today where an amazing family had took a trailer, and there's like 16 mules, and they're out there on mule teams, and they're delivering this stuff on mules. And it's like, man, how amazing is that?
How back to earth do we go to there? I mean, that's back to our roots, man. Get things out there any way you can. Not only is that a great way to go, but it's, something's got to happen with the livestock. I'm sure there's a lot of that roaming around out there too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you think about it, it's like when someone says you can't, and it's like, really? When I started doing this, I did it because the simple fact, just because I only have to deal with this for a week, to help them out. These people have to deal with it for the rest of their life. And the way it affects things, it'll never be the same. When you look at like the pictures that show Lake Lure down at the bottom of the hill, the road was about 50 foot in front of some of those buildings they're showing, and those buildings now have 9 foot of mud around them. So how do you go in and clean out 9 foot of mud? Well, you take a scoop out, and 10 minutes later, it's floated back in. And so you take another scoop out. Where are you going to put it? Because all you got's mud everywhere. You can't haul it off. You ain't got no roads to do it with. So you start thinking, it's like, Christ, you're going to have to let that stuff dry for months before you can get rid of it. And that's where you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think they've got so many logistical things that they've got to get worked out, getting stuff in supplies together, then being able to get it to people. But the cleanup, I mean, these pictures tell the story of what was and now what is. I mean, all of that, all of those buildings and that whole town's gone. So they've got to clear that place out and get it straightened out so they can move around in it again, and then probably figure out, debris and what they got to do with that, and shelters and everything else. I mean, I couldn't even imagine. But and we got a few more minutes left here too, Mickey. I wanted to we touched on something that applies here, and that is that right now this strike is having an effect on things. It's not something we're feeling immediately, but it's coming. So I mean, I want everybody to feel like they can give. Believe me, we'll be okay. These folks, they can't even look to next week right now. They got to look to today. So whatever you guys can do to help and make something happen with these supplies. I mean, the most basic, man, water, medicine, aspirin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, antiseptic. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But this strike that's hitting us is it's going to be felt, and it's going to have an effect on all of this. I can't even imagine yet when it all comes together where we're going to be at, unless the strike goes away fast. And I guess everybody knows what we're talking about when we're talking about the longshoreman strike that's going on right now.
Right. Well, it's like the crazy part of all this. I mean, we are lucky to get to live in the United States of America. It's the greatest country, and it's hands down we might not agree with what your next door neighbor is doing. We might not agree with what's going on down the street or across the United States. But at the end of the day, we're all here and we're all part of this. And it's, you know, you just got to look a little bit to find out how wonderful it is. And it's like, these people aren't asking nobody for help. They're trying to survive today. And it's like, if it was you tomorrow that needed the help, if it was a bad storm, you know, wouldn't you want somebody to show up? And that's is a citizen or as a friend or what, however you want to look at it. We all have to put a little bit of effort in, and it's, I know we've got the slogan, make America great again, but it's like, let's make it great today. It's not again, let's continue it, make it today, because, you know, the thing of it is, these people, I did several of them, and I mean, I've got stories that'll pull you to your knees, and it's, you don't have to look very far. If you're in a room, I told John this earlier, you know, if you're in a room of people and you don't see anybody being a good person, be that good person, you know, step up and just try to be that good person. Be a role model for somebody, your kids, your grandkids, your family. Honor your name, and do the best thing you can. And I think we've all done that. I mean, the trucking industry, we get overlooked, but my God, it's full of good people.
Yep. No, absolutely it is. I want to let everybody know again too, Mickey, you're going to have a link for Venmo tomorrow. So if you get that, share it, tag us, and then we can spread it around as well, or any other points of resource that we can direct people to send to. Be sure and share that, make it public, and that way everybody can share it as well.
No, I will. I appreciate it. It's like I said, this Natasha and Mary out there, they're doing an outstanding job, and it's like, it's unbelievable that they got this organized this fast. And it's like I said, I think they told me today it was their 10th semi load that they sent out, and they went out and distributed a few of them in a little bit of trucks where they could, but otherwise they've taken it to a location where they helo it out. So I mean, it's amazing that the guy that owns all these companies down there, and I'll have to get names for him. It's like, I don't even know if he wants tagged. I think more or less he's asked to be anonymous, but great human beings, and I appreciate anything you guys can do.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, I want to get you back and talk about some fun stuff as well, because you got some big news coming up for 25 that you shared with me today, and I want to let people know what that is at some point. Get an update on what Mickey is doing in the trucking world and business and fun. And, you know, aside from all of what's going on right now, there's just too much other stuff right now that needs to be discussed. And we got that taken care of today. Thanks for coming on and sharing with us, Mickey. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Evan, hope you're well. Dan, hope you guys are good. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Hey,
right.
Mickey, I just want to say thanks for all you do in these situations. You always step up. You always do the right thing. You are the person in the room here right now, and you make us all better. We appreciate what you do. You make 100%. Us all look good. Trucking industry, everybody. And I know you're a humble guy, and I know you don't like that, but it's the truth. We're proud to be your friend, and thank you for all the things you do.
No, you're welcome. I'm just Tyler's dad. You know, I've always said, now I'm Livy's grandpa. But,
what's that grandbaby's name though?
Olivia. It's like she's probably the one thing on the planet that probably grounds me faster than anything.
Yeah. You're looking more the grandpa part these days, brother.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting any younger. It's like I seem to keep getting older. I don't know what happens, but
it's looking good on you, man. It's looking good on you. I'm glad to see
with
it.
age, I guess, comes wisdom. So I guess I'm finally going to be a little bit smarter, you know. But
I was going to say you're super smart then.
yeah. I'm probably more closer to Scooby smart if you wanted to pitch. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys very much, and I appreciate you taking the time and putting it out there. And like I said,
Absolutely.
you know, God bless everybody. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Mickey. Look forward to catching up more. We'll do it again here soon. Okay.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right, you bet. All right, everybody. Mickey Gwillim. I appreciate him taking the time out. Like I said, he had a an appointment, a business appointment that he had to take care of, and it was happening right in the midst of the show, so he actually had to excuse himself to come out and put a few minutes together to be here with us. So I think everybody needs to realize too, if you don't know and you're saying, gosh, hurricanes happen all the time over in that part of the world. Well, no, they don't. That's the thing. And it's not like Florida where that does happen all the time. South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, man, they got hit like never before in this thing. So it's a new deal. And these people in this picture that I've been sharing with you guys in this town of and it's in where's it again? Chimney Rock.
Asheville.
Yeah,
and Chimney Rock
North
area.
Carolina, Chimney Rock. They figured they were in high ground. They should be fine, right? I would think if I was going to be buying somewhere in Tennessee or in those areas, I'd be looking for high ground and build on it, or buy something that's up there already. Well, it just didn't play out this time. So
you want to know one thing I've only heard talked about one time, and it's it only made the news for like 30 seconds, but one of the truckers that was at the Mayberry truck show, we saw him standing by his truck, and some people saw him punching his grill, and we went over and talked to him. We're like, everything okay? He's like, no, my house is gone. We're like, what do you mean your house is gone? Like, you live up on the mountain. He's like, yeah, my house is gone. And we're like, well, don't worry, insurance will cover it. He goes, we don't have flood damage. We don't have flood protection. We live on a mountain. We didn't take out flood protection. So we're going to get nothing for our house. And it was in that second, I was like, oh my God, could you imagine losing everything and having no insurance to cover it? Like, unless you get national disaster relief from the government, you're going to get nothing, and your house is just gone because you lived on a hill, and your insurance company isn't going to cover it because you're not covered for flood damage. Like, what do you even do in that situation?
The funny thing too, being here on the West Coast, I mean, I'm not a guy who sits and watches the news because it makes me mad and because I don't have time. Yeah. And we're starting to see more talk about this devastation, but I mean, as far as I was concerned, we were watching it getting ready to hit. We heard that it hit and then it downgraded. We saw pictures of you guys in the sunshine and we're like, oh, it was okay. It wasn't so bad. And I feel like the news cycle just let it go. And I'm not seeing it on my website feed or very little of it. I'm starting to see more of it, but I was kind of surprised that for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to be getting the publicity that it should be. It's starting to get it now. People are starting to see what really occurred and what really happened. And, and I know some dams broke and that.
Yeah, just north of where we were at Mount Airy, it was terrible. Like, we stayed at the top of the mountain on just south of there, but where Mitchell lives just north, it was terrible up there by the farms where his farms are at. They had a ton of devastation. We actually had even a couple of truckers that were staying at Airbnbs not too far from there that actually had to borrow chainsaws from a farm nearby so they could move some trees to get back to the show. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
The devastation
some of the footage I've
crazy
seen
out
has
there.
just been, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, but literally RVs floating, in water where probably there was a road, not anything else before. Now they're it's just all of the stuff coming downstream now. I mean, you get a storm surge of 20 feet. There's going to be bad things that happen. And in response, Dan, to what you said, I think right now the news cycle is so overwhelmed with what's going on here, what's going on with the election, the hurricane,
Middle East.
Israel. I mean, there's just a lot going on right now. And of course, also it is dependent on what news you watch, what you're going to see as they prioritize whatever it is that's out there that they feel like is more important to them. The debate last night was probably one of the best debates I've ever seen between two guys that were running against each other. They actually had a civilized, competition that I think hopefully a lot of people we'll get this figured out, man. That
I thought the same thing. Yep.
you know,
Agreed.
there's some balance there and I'm just going to come out and say it. There's some balance there in JD Vance for, you know, for his boss. And I think that, I think that's a great combination. You know, that's just my opinion. The other side, I hate to say it, but the guy was, literally lying right there to the camera. He called himself a knucklehead. No, you're a liar. Sorry. And you know, it's just a huge hole to go down. Don't want to do it. But I can just say that if you know anything about all this stuff and you watched last night and you know where the real story is, you'll see it when it comes out in front of you. If they're telling you, yeah, I was there. No, you weren't, you know, another Brian
I do want to
Williams.
touch base on something that Mickey said, though. He said the generosity of truckers, and honestly, I've been a part of Mayberry was my 9th show I was a part of this year. I got one more in the Atlanta show, and I'm putting out a video tomorrow on my social media platform. Lauren just finished editing it for me. It's me talking to the charity that we had donated our money to from Mayberry, and I said the generosity of truckers all year long this year, even though the market's not great. I can't tell you how many shows I've been to this year that drivers still showed up. They still donated. They still gave back for a lot of great causes. That it just, the generosity of truckers blows my mind. It just absolutely amazes me. Troy Massey's show donated over, I think it was over $250,000. Mayberry donated over $200,000 to their charity. I know a bunch of other charities that donated $50, $100, $200,000. That in a down economy for the truckers, they're still opening their pocketbooks to make sure they help stuff out. And then I've got local guys up here too that are going to be running trailer loads of supplies down to this North Carolina area that she never could have imagined there was going to be a landslide at the top of a mountain with this much rain. But it's crazy that the trucking industry is just nonstop giving back to help. That I wish more people could appreciate and see what we see. We get to see the bright side of it, right? And I wish more people could see that, because that generosity goes so deep for the people of their communities and other people's communities that they should get more recognition for that.
Yep.
Well, I think that it's up to us, 10-4 magazine and the other publications and media channels for the industry that are out there, for us to do our part to cross bridges and connect to the mainstream media and say, hey, I think you guys need to, you know, really take note of this, and not for breaking our arms to pat ourselves on the back, just to say, hey, look, this industry's solid. And honestly, it you know, it showed. And I mean, for a lot of different reasons, I'm going to say just a lot of different reasons, the lines coming into the ports that have been being broadcast out there through social media, through the media outlets that will and have shared it, those guys were lined up to get in and get as much out as they could before they shut the ports down, so that we would all be able to not suffer from a shutdown again like we did through the pandemic, because that's where it's headed right now. If this strike doesn't get resolved right away, we're right back where we were 2 years ago, or even you know, a year ago, frankly, because there's still a lot of this supply chain stuff that's not been worked out. It hasn't been resolved. It hasn't come back the way that, you know, it was before. It's just, I don't know that it ever will. This is not going to help. So, I think that the guys that are out there, they're doing everything they can to make it and work it out. But that's the trucker side of it, you know, and the truckers as a whole, I think in the industry, that probably some of the most generous and giving people of any industry out there. And I've been involved in many other industries and types of work. And, you know, not that other people aren't willing to help. It's just, you know, when you see it, this is a large scale, you know, goods and services moved cross country in the midst of things like that have just happened with this hurricane. So God bless all those guys that are out there trying to help. Mickey, what a great guy, out there doing what he can every time, you know, at the drop of a hat, man. he gets that calling and he goes out and does what he does. So many others I'm sure out there as well, and I'm glad to have him and be a part of what we're doing here and what we've done over the years as 10-4 magazine. So Evan, want to get you back too. Thanks for being a great sponsor and partner of ours through the years. You doing the monthly cover truck co-sponsorship on that show once a month, and we appreciate that, and all the other support along the way as well. So
best way to you guys choose us each year.
Yeah, well, the best way for everybody out there to show some love to Evan. Yep, see that on his shirt right there, man. Time2shine.com. If you want to go buy some product online, get it shipped, go there, get it, and make yourself look good, because that's what all that product does out there. Dan, good update on the trucker rodeo, and clock and calendar are ticking. Another day will be gone here before long, and we'll be down to what, 28 days?
Don't say it. Hey, Evan's on the same countdown, so
yeah,
I am. Yeah. I'm puckered.
Shannon made the brilliant assessment and decision of putting it on our kitchen refrigerator.
Oh, nice.
Changes it every day, and pucker's a good word.
Yeah. Is that so you can go on a diet? You don't even want to go near that thing and see that every day, or how's that working out?
Well, no.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, look, it's going to be a great show, right? And remember, everybody, when you're turning left or turning right, turn left and come out our way, okay? Atlanta will be there next time. Darn it! No, it's going to be the country as it's been throughout this year. People go where they're at, and whatever makes sense, you go where you can, be and be effective, and of course, do it without breaking the bank. And so there'll be a lot of folks there in Atlanta, I'm sure.
I will put the invite out to you, Evan. You come to our show. You can help us pick our. Okay.
I like it.
There you go. Well, we'll get you back, Evan. Again, we have a little holiday thing we do probably around Thanksgiving and again around Christmas, but we'd love to have you be a part of that, and kind of make it a big fun deal. And I think last year, didn't we do something, Dan, to kind of what are we thankful for? I think we've done a couple of those kind of shows there. So we'll do that again, and get an update and see how things are going.
Might call and pick your brain about some parking things. So
not a problem.
All right, you guys, listen, appreciate both. Dan, I know how busy and tough it is for you to take time out to do this. I'm glad you hung around though. And Evan, same thing. I know your schedule is crazier than hell. I don't know how between work and kids and wife and everything else, you carved it out, man, but I sure appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My bags under my eyes have bags under my eyes at this point.
Hey, man, you could have come in all covered in rouge and we'd have never known.
Are they what YSL? What's your brand?
It's something like that, yeah. T2S we call it, yeah.
You got some fancy luggage under your eyes there?
Yeah, the Louis Vuitton, yeah. So when you said be ready by 6:30, I literally left my shop at 6:25 and drove straight here, and I only live 3 minutes away from my shop, thank goodness. But yeah, I literally hopped in the shower at 6:10, and I was out of the shop by 6:25 to be loaded up to get ready. And of course, my Mac, I can't put it on my my Mac setup, so I had to download Google Chrome quick so I could get in to get on the show.
It is a little confusing, but you can use Safari. But next time, look at the link, and you have to read down a couple of steps, and it'll tell you how to navigate through to get there. But it worked out great. You look and sound
great.
Read
the instructions, dummy.
Listen, downloading Google Chrome is just fine. I'll take the viruses. It'll be all right.
It'll be okay. You'll get through it. It'll be all right.
Thanks for jumping through the hoops.
Appreciate it.
You guys for having us on. Appreciate it.
All right. And good luck in Atlanta. We'll be thinking about you.
Yeah. Good luck with your show too. I'm excited to see the videos and the pictures come out of that, because I love the trucker rodeos. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. Well,
we're hoping it's a big success and people love it as much as we love it and the idea of doing it. So get on out there, everybody.
And then we'll get together and be mindful of dates.
Perfect. That's a deal.
Yeah, there needs to
I
be a
thought we
show
would be
that-
the last one of the year. That's why
I thought we would
chose such
too.
a late date.
Yeah, we did too. We picked a late date and we were gonna announce it, and then I saw that you guys posted it. I was like, oh no, not again.
I mean, maybe
We're
there needs
different
to be
coasts.
like
I
a,
mean,
a show council just to run calendar dates by everybody to,
Oh, there's
I
so
mean, I
many
don't-
shows, it's crazy.
can't.
Well,
There's
you
literally
pick-
one every weekend somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if you could actually do that or not, but at least the key shows, pick them out, talk, see what happens. I think, or everybody work around the other guy, I guess. I don't know, but we just do what we can do, right?
Yep, that's exactly it.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Appreciate you guys, both of you. Dan, look forward to talking. Whoops.
Woo.
Hey, there you go. Getting back into the right screen. Getting back together. We'll talking more show stuff. We got some possible sponsors for events that we're working on and trying to get them in. So anybody that's got any thoughts about this show coming up in November, we need you to get on and do your thing. Hey, there it is. The Mitch Bottomley bottle. Is that the bobblehead?
Oh boy.
That's Bottomley, right? Nice.
2 phones.
You know you've made it in the world if you got your own bobblehead, right?
It's a true story.
I got a Jimmy Johnson one up there.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There, right there.
All right, you
Say hi to
guys.
Big E. Say hi to Big E.
Big E. Oh yeah, Big E. What's up, buddy?
He's always with us.
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's
Till
loose,
next
bro.
week, everybody. We will catch you all later.
Thank
And
you.
this will be the first show that we're going to put it into play. But I have an outro now, so there's some other changes that have come along with our streaming app that we use and made it available. And I'm going to put it into play. So Evan, we'll be back in touch. Love to get with you and talk more about your stuff because I think there's some great things coming with your new show concept and putting it into play. I think that long overdue. Yeah, long overdue.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
See you guys.
Boom.
I gotta go. I gotta